Hello everybody and welcome to another video about light, a brand new light from Zhiyun called the Molus X60. I can't show this light to you just now because it's up there. It's acting as my key light in this video. So in the olden days, 3 to 5 years ago, if you wanted a light that was powerful enough to be a key light and go through about a 24-inch softbox, which is what I have up here, you needed something like this. And this is what I've been using for the past 3 years. This is a 150 watt COB chip on board light that I've run at about 20% power. So I'm currently using right now through the same softbox I've been using for the past few years, the Zhiyun Molus X60 at about 50% power. I'm going to return my usual light to the softbox so I can show you the Zhiyun Molus X60 in just a moment. So here it is, the Zhiyun Molus X60. This light is teeny tiny and really powerful. It's this 60 watt RGB and bicolor light in this little tiny package. That's pretty amazing. So what do you get with the Zhiyun Molus X60? Well, first of all, you get this nice carrying case, which has foam compartments in it. Obviously, you get the light itself. You get the 100-watt battery pack. You get a AC power adapter. You get the reflector with the dome diffuser and a USB-C power cable. So you get all that stuff in this package for $199. Again, I think that's a great value. I think it's super flexible. All the RGB options are awesome and wonderful. Having all this capability in such a small package, I still can't get over it. The engineering behind this is pretty amazing. The quality seems really good. And I know I'll find lots of uses for this light. And I'd love to hear what you're thinking about using this light for. So please leave that in the comments below. Look forward to hearing from you on that. So a couple of notes of disclosure before I talk a little bit more about this light. First, this light was provided to me by Zhiyun. So they've given me this light for review and hopefully to make this video, which I'm now doing. And I will be sharing that with you before they get to see this video. The second note about this light and full disclosure, in that first part of the video where I was using it as a key light, in order to make it work in the softbox, I had to use this adapter, which is an adapter that lets you have a Bowens mount, which is the most common type of light mount that attaches to this. So that looks like this when you attach them together. So it does become obviously bigger. Also, it becomes bigger when you attach the included battery, which now looks like this. So this was the rig I was running when I was using it as my key light. So I had the battery attached, which is included, the light obviously, and then the Bowens mount adapter. This Bowens mount adapter does not come included with the kit that I was sent. I had it from a previous light I had, the X100. This Bowens mount adapter is $39 US, and I'll leave a link to it down below. Speaking of links down below, I have a discount code to the Amazon store and the Zhiyun official store, which will get you 10% off of this light through April 12th, 2024. So find that link down below. So let's talk about this light. First of all, as you can see, it is very tiny and it's kind of cool looking. It's more than a little cool looking. It's got a little bit of a steampunk retro vibe to it, which I quite like. How tiny is it? It is not that much bigger than a credit card. It's not that much bigger than a credit card. So that's pretty tiny. Also, it's very light. It's 300 grams, so not very heavy, super portable. So many use cases I can think of for this light, which I'll share in a moment. And I'll show you an example of using this light in those different use cases very quickly. Let's talk a little bit about specifications for this light. But before I do that, just another note, I'm not a super technical person with light. I know how to make light work and what I like about it, but I don't have ways to test the different specifications for the light. So the specifications I'm about to give you are what was provided to me by Zhiyun. So here we go. So for the bicolor part of this light, the color temperature range is from 2,700 Kelvin to 6,500 Kelvin. This is a 60-watt light, both in bicolor and RGB mode. And it has a rated CRI of over 96 and a TLCI of over 97. There's lots of different ways to get power to this light. The light comes with an included AC power supply adapter. Also, the kit I have, which retails for $199, includes this battery pack, which is a 100-watt battery pack, and it's super easy to attach. There we go. So now we have a portable light, basically functions as a handle for this light. So super easy to use and very convenient. This light will also work with USB-C power delivery. So in effect, you can get almost limited life out of a battery if you just keep using power delivery via USB-C. This light is, in my experience, my testing, I got about 51 minutes at 100% power, which is quite a long time. So for the control functions of the knobs, you have two knobs and they're super easy. The right knobs, when you're in CCT mode, controls the dimming, and it goes in 1% increments up to 100%. The left knob controls the color temperature, and again, that's easy to use. If you click the right knob, you will go in to 50% power, then to 100% power, and then to 0 power. And then if you click the left knob, that will change between the different activity modes. So it goes from CCT to HSI mode. And then again, the left knob will control the current highlighted setting. And then you can choose the different highlighted settings with the left knob and then rotate the right knob to change that setting. So after HSI comes RGB mode, then the FX mode with a bunch of different effects in here. Then there's a music mode, which is the light will respond to music and sound. And then the menu, and then back to CCT. So it's a nice, easy interface to use. The knobs are solid and very responsive to turn. They have nice little clicks in them, so easy to get from one setting to another. So how bright is this light? It's very bright. Even at 1%, it is super bright. This is 1% power right now. So that's quite bright, and that's surprising for such a small package. It's pretty amazing. I kind of feel like Iron Man now, you know, with my bright light at 50% power. So can't have fun with your lights. What are we doing? One of the things you're probably wondering about is how this light keeps cool being so bright in such a small package. As you can see, there is a fan on the back, and that fan is kind of smart. It only comes on when it's needed, and it's a very quiet fan. So I'm going to cycle this up to about 50% power. We'll get the fan to kick on, which comes on at around about a half a minute after the light's at that much power, and then I'll let you hear what that sounds like. So I kicked the light actually up to 100%, and now the fan is on, and I will bring it closer to me so you can hear it. So at my arm's length distance, I can hear it, but I don't think the microphone's picking it up. So it's a very quiet, unobtrusive fan sound, which is really nice for interview settings or other settings where the light will be close to your sound source. One of the cool things about this light being so small and yet so powerful is it gives you so many options for placement, so many options for using light modifiers, especially with the Bowens mount adapter, that it is an easy light to take with you everywhere and have with you when you need to use it. So let's talk through a couple of the use cases I'm thinking of. We'll start off with a fill light. I'm currently showing you my usual fill light, which is a 9-inch LCD panel off to camera that way. So camera that side, which is camera right. So I'm going to replace my usual fill light with the Molus X60, and then I'm going to add the reflector with a dome diffuser that comes with the kit. All right, so we're back with the Molus X60 as my fill light to camera right. And as you can see, even at 1% power, it's actually a little too bright at the distance I have it at, which is about 2 feet away, well, 18 inches, 2 feet away from me on my left side camera, right. So as a fill light, you get a lot of room to move this back because it's so powerful that you have extra power to be your fill light. Another potential use case for this light would be as an on-camera main light. So what I'm going to do is turn off all the other lights in here, and I'll just turn on this light on camera as the main light, and you'll see what that looks like. So this is what that looks like with the Molus X60 on camera as a main light. Again, I'm using the reflector and the dome diffuser on top of that. I did leave the other lights on, including I have a hair light up there, but I did turn off my fill light and my key light. So I'm only getting light directly on me from the Molus X60. Let's go ahead and show you what that looks like with no other lights on now, and here's what that looks like. So here's what that looks like with the Molus X60 as the only light in this scene. We do have a couple practical lights back here, but the only video light running is now the Molus X60 with, again, through the reflector with the dome diffuser. So you're going to get that news broadcast look of an on-camera light straight at you. It's relatively flat, but there's plenty of light here. I think I'm only running at about 10% power. The fan is not turned on, so it must be under 50%. And it's nice light. It's easy to have on camera. Again, it's a light package, even with the battery. It doesn't weigh very much. So easy to do for kind of, again, potentially running gun stuff, quick setups, quick on-camera light, adapting to scenes and moving around in video and or photos as well. So now I have the Zhiyun Molus X60 overhead as my hair light to separate from the background. I usually have my hair light up in the corner because, as you can see with my picture frames behind me, we get some reflections off the glass with it overhead. Plus, then it's always out of the way when it's in the corner. But I wanted to give you a look at how it works as a hair light. And this is at only 1% power. Straight overhead, it's about 1.5 to 2 feet away from the top of my head. So it works really nicely for that. Another use case I have often for small lights like this is when I do small product photography, it's like photos of camera gear for thumbnails and such. And the lights are relatively close because it's just a small setting I have right over there. But even at 1% power, this light is just too bright to use in close proximity that I use in these small product photo situations. Also, because it's a relatively hard light, I prefer to use these tube lights that I have back here because they're a softer light when they're up close. And I don't want to break out modifiers and things like that. So for my use case, this isn't the best light for product photos, but it's a great light for all the other things we've talked about so far. Plus, I imagine it would be a wonderful portrait light. It's got enough power, again, through a light modifier like an umbrella, which you can, there is an umbrella adapter on the Bowens mount adapter, and as well as all the other Bowens mount modifiers you can use, including softboxes and strip lights and things like that. So as a portrait light, there's enough power in here to do lots of different things. So another use case I can think of for this light would be as a video background light, especially in the RGB mode. As you can see, I have lots of lights back here doing that job. So what I'm going to do is just use this one light, and I'm going to put it in hue cycle, so it'll cycle through the different colors, and I'll turn that on back there, and we turn off all the other tube lights back there, and we'll see what that looks like in this case. So there we go with that as a single background light, cycling through the different hues. It's kind of neat. I like it. It's a little different look and vibe from what I usually have. I would probably go with a consistent color, leave it at one color, one of my either the blue hue I use or the orange hue I use. But it's kind of neat to have this option. It's really cool to have this flexibility with this light. So to conclude, my first impressions of this light is I'm really impressed. I think it's an amazing value at $199 US for all that you get in that kit. The flexibility of this light as a bicolor light and an RGB light, all the different options you have, as well as with 60 watts of brightness. That is a lot of power, especially if you're doing indoor work. Lots of different use cases I've discussed briefly here for this light. I can imagine there's tons more. And I'm looking forward to using this light in lots of different ways, trying it out, taking advantage of its versatility and flexibility. And I will report back at a later date with more information about this light. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. It's going to conclude this brief little series about portable lighting from Zhiyun. See down below for a link to my video about the Cinepeer CM25 bicolor light, and hope you enjoy that as well. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions about this light, please leave them down below. If you have any tips for future videos, I'd also like to have you leave those in the comments below, and look forward to having conversation with you about that. So next week, I'll be back to street photography, out on the street, so to speak, and I look forward to seeing you in that video. So until I do, I hope you stay safe, stay well, and have fun creating photos and videos, and bye for now.